All right, Tyler Perry fans, we're going to be talking about a subject that a lot of people brought up in the last live stream. So go ahead and like the video. Let's try to get to 50 likes. Hit the subscribe button. We are very close to 140,000 subscribers. Go ahead and hit the bell and select all. That way you're notified whenever I post new content. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. It's a play. That's literally the best way to describe it. I feel like I've said that before in a video, but fans are repeating the same statement in comments and on Twitter and everything. It definitely feels like we're watching a Tyler Perry play in a 21-minute format, 21 to 23-minute format on BET. Except it's going on for about 42 minutes if you add both episodes, or 80-some minutes if you add in all 4 episodes of both shows, House Payne and Assisted Living, where you have characters standing around in the same set, just going back and forth with dialogue, but at least in the plays, they're telling a story. I mean, go ahead and watch. I mean, I felt the same way when I was watching the Madea farewell play on BET Plus, which not my favorite play, but I thought it was pretty good. It just felt interesting to watch a Madea play or a Tyler Perry play because it's been so long, and I just forgot what that format is like. I mean, to have a live studio audience there, or excuse me, a live audience in the auditorium or theater, it really felt different because number one, no freaking laugh track. I didn't need the audience to tell me when a joke was funny, but more often than not, I would laugh when they would laugh. But when you looked at the Madea farewell play, you had a bunch of, characters who weren't Bam, Cora, Brown, or Madea. They were the cast characters of that particular storyline. And they were on stage to set up the story. And then things happened when Bam and Cora, then Brown and Madea showed up. Because as soon as one of those 4 characters showed up, the crowd went nuts. And I mean, even at the end of the play, when all the cast came out on stage, they got, relative applause. But the crowd just erupted as soon as David Mann, Tamala Mann, Ella Davis, and Tyler Perry, of course, they would get the most applause. It felt like watching a New Edition interviews. It's like, yeah, it was understood back in the day. Ralph was that guy. When we would go down the line and introduce ourselves, Ralph would get the loudest applause. We were just kind of there. And I'm not saying there's animosity on the plays or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to set up the stage of what it feels like watching these Tyler Perry shows, particularly Assisted Living. You got all these Jeremy, Lynn, Naya, whatever the hell their names are. Grandpa Vinny. Basically, Jeremy, his wife, 2 kids, and Grandpa. J. Anthony Brown, yeah, we know him, but everybody else kind of like meh. But we're not here for them. We're here for Brown and Cora. Now, if it was like the first episode, there was no Brown and Cora, that's understandable, I guess, because you need to establish the story. But even episode 1 had flimsy plot for why they were moving down there because it just seemed weird. But when it comes down to it, nobody's there for them. We're here for Brown and Cora. It's like Meet the Browns if Brown showed up in episode 20. Even though the show is called Meet the Browns, it's like watching Hey Arnold, but Arnold doesn't show up until season 3. It's like Family Matters. No, it don't. Urkel. Urkel. I was like, it was a true. I watched this YouTube video about, Steve Urkel, and it's like, I didn't even notice until just a week ago, but apparently in some of the original episodes, because Urkel wasn't in the first few episodes, he was supposed to be a one and done character, that much I know, but there were episodes before he got on the show, obviously. In some of the syndication reruns of the early episodes, they put Urkel in those episodes. Apparently they reshot scenes and put Urkel in them, so he would be in episodes that he originally wasn't in, which is crazy, but all for the ratings. So that will lead to another video I'm about to do about cheating fans, but I will get to that soon enough. But I feel like Tyler Perry wrote these shows like his plays, but the only difference is there are no songs yet, anyway, and it doesn't have the story. I mean, hell, even in the plays, when there are a bunch of characters who I feel, they're new, I kind of don't care about them as much as I do the titular characters, be it Brown or whatever, or Madea. But their story, they're setting the stage, no pun intended, for the story to continue. Oh, okay, so-and-so is, graduating from college. He's in law. And I'm using the Madea tour as an example because, that's the most recent one. He's graduating. Oh, his parents are split. His brother is now his sister. He has a friend from college who may or may not be the lover, but then it's not. And then you got, his mom's friend who works at a law firm, and the list goes on. But then as soon as Cora and Madea and them show up, the thing about it is they brought something to the story, but the story wasn't completely focused on them. And it was a nice mix between story, compelling characters, and comedy. Like Brown's whole thing was, oh, he got high because he ate chocolate. And then Cora was there because she was the mother of one or two of the girls. And Bam was there for comic relief. So was Madea. But then she taught some life lessons and whatnot. But when it comes to House of Payne and assisted living, it's like the format just isn't working. Because the thing is, House of Payne, what really brings it down so much is we've already had a botched up spinoff, The Paynes. And you can go back to the original series, 8 seasons, and it's way better. The thing is, it goes back to like the haves and the have-nots. Like I always say, like the current seasons now aren't that good because we know Tyler Perry can do better. Because go back to the first couple of seasons, the show is at its peak. And that just shows you there, Tyler is more than capable of writing good content. But for whatever reason, it's just not sticking the same, whether it be because of spreading himself too thin, too many shows, doing everything himself without hiring writers. It just ain't sticking. And when you do a play format like this, you know what? Scrap House of Payne and assisted living. And I know we can't go out on tour with the plays now, but film a play. Damn. I mean, if you're just going to have these characters standing in the same spot, at least give me something. Just, I'd rather take a play. It doesn't even have to be a Madea play, but I'll take any kind of thing over what we're getting now because this whole thing we got going, it isn't working. People are staying up late. I know technically it's not late, 8 to 10, but some people it's late because they're work hours or whatever, and they're just wasting their time. So let me know what you think. That's what I feel like we can all agree. I feels like these shows are now being written as plays as opposed to sitcoms. That's my honest opinion. I mean, yeah, the Oval is a hot mess in places, but there are a lot of moments where I'm like, well, damn. Same thing with Sisters. Bruh's pretty good for a sitcom. Well, I don't know what... He's fumbled on House of Payne and assisted living. I honestly couldn't tell you what's going on or what, I don't know. But thanks so much for tuning in. I know this video is kind of all over the place too, but damn it. Hey, at least this video was all over the place and I didn't stand in the same spot. Oh, I said it. If you wanted to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.